All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. You found us here at KGB Customs, home of what we believe is some of the best custom gun content on the web. We share these custom guns in hopes of sharing some knowledge and to catalog some of the great pieces that come through our shop. Thank you for joining us. If you guys haven't already, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel. We try to put out a couple videos a week on various custom pistols that come through our shop, and I really enjoy hearing stories from you guys as they relate to the pistols and sharing some of that information with you. If you really like this stuff, jump down to the link in the description and join our email list. That's where you'll hear about this stuff first. These videos are not the first notice of cool stuff here at the shop. So if you like it, get on the email list. Today we've got a neat, kind of a mild custom. It's not a full house gun, but it was pretty, so I wanted to share it with you guys. And from a shop that's, I suppose, in the news, so to speak, in the 1911 world. This pistol was built by Rob Schauland at the original Alchemy Custom Weaponry, not to be confused with the company that exists by that name today, building semi-custom pistols. Rob founded that shop in 2011. I believe he had a partner in that shop, and they were basically a two-man show building custom pistols, one-off customs, not to be confused with the Alchemy custom weaponry pistols today. Rob is related to that company, and we'll go into that history after we go through the gun a little bit. The gun is a 1991 series, so an 80 series Colt government model. This one in 38 Super. This gun was probably built in the early 2000s by Colt. It was customized by Rob in 2014. I have a build sheet here from that build, and we'll go down that build sheet. So this pistol, like I said, is not a full house custom, doesn't have everything done to it, but was built by Rob. Poignantly, recently, Rob posted on several social outlets that he was, kind of the dawn of the retro 1911. He was doing a lot of retro 1911s, and that's what this pistol is. For it to be really a retro 1911, in my opinion, it should not have a full beaver tail with the scoop. It should have a smaller thumb safety. Generally, you won't see them with checkering. This one is serrated. Generally, you won't see ball cuts. Generally, you'll see a GI dovetail rear sight. Oftentimes, you'll see a spur or a ring hammer on a retro gun. Now, there's certainly different caveats there. I know Rob is planning with the current iteration of his shop, Schauland Performance, a retro 2011 build. So a 2011 built in the style of a early 90s wide body gun. Anyway, so this gun, going down the build sheet, has the front strap serrated, very similar to the Gold Cup National Match serrations there. Install a Harrison Yost design rear sight. Install ACW gold bead front sight, and that is dovetailed in a Novak dovetail there. Install EGW oversized firing pin stop. So what that does is keeps the extractor in the same place, and also this one has a fairly squared bottom to kind of delay the unlocking. The part comes very square at the bottom. This one does have a radius at the bottom. Being a 38 Super, you don't need a sharp square bottom. The sharper the corner, the harder it is for that slide to overcome the hammer spring and thus cycle the gun. So higher pressure cartridges, generally you want a sharper corner there. Lower pressure cartridges or compensated guns, you want a larger radius there. We see on old comp guns, sometimes that radius is carried clear up past the hole, the firing pin hole. And that makes those slides very easy to overcome because it changes the pivot point on the hammer. Leverage and whatnot. Physics. You didn't know you were going to learn about physics today. EGW National Match barrel bushing. That match bushing is mounted on the Colt factory barrel. You'll see as we're pointing up front here, the flush cut and crown job on that barrel. EGW slide stop. So that slide stop's going to be a couple thousandths bigger and be a bar stock part. So that's going to generally improve barrel fit. Does not match a match grade barrel, but it does improve barrel fit on a stock barrel to some degree. Greeter national match medium trigger. Harrison design retro ignition kit. So that's this small spur hammer. And by ignition kit, we mean hammer sear disconnector. EGW long nose plug to match the bushing. So the bushing is a thick flange. He replaced the plug of the recoil system with a longer plug to match that thickness. Deluxe reblue, that's really where this gun shines. And Rob's very good at bluing guns, very good at prepping guns, as is the young lady he has working in his shop, Tori, at Schauland Performance. I really do like the look of their finish on guns. Full internal deburr package, 10-8 grip screw bushings, Harrison plunger tube, and a Wilson bulletproof hammer strut. The gun was then shot to check sights and has, a light carry bevel, so as to not make it look like I used bar of soap or anything. But we're reusing the Colt safeties. We're reusing the Colt magazine release. That in the Colt factory barrel is why this is a light custom, not a full house custom. But a very pretty gun and a very classy gun. The gun came in with the factory wood grips on it. I installed these Boone fake ivory grips to kind of dress the pistol out. A little bit about Rob's history. Rob started work at the Springfield Armory, as far as his gun history is concerned, in 1999. He was a production scheduler for 7 years. I don't really know what that role all involves, but production scheduler kind of sounds to me like he is putting people where they need to be to assemble guns and build guns on the main floor. He then moved up in 2006 to assistant custom shop director. So that sounds like he is second in charge at the custom shop. He then moved on to work for Les Baer for 3 years, from 08 to 2011. And in late 2011, he stepped out on his own and formed Alchemy Custom Weaponry, which would be the company and umbrella under which this gun was built. He and his partner ran Alchemy Custom Weaponry until 2016, when the greater family of Cabot Guns came and acquired ACW. They acquired the name and they hired Rob, and Rob was their director of research and development and general manager for many years until 2023, when he stepped away from that. He helped them set up the Alchemy Custom Weaponry we know today and helped them design that line of pistols in classic form, classic finishes. And that's really, what ACW today hangs their hat on, is a classic looking pistol. They don't do a lot of radical machining or radical finishes other than some of their resto mod stuff, but very classic guns and pretty guns. But Rob had the desire to go back out on his own and did separate from them a couple of years ago, and now runs Schauland Performance. Most of those years were spent in between Fort Wayne, Indiana, Geneseo, Illinois, and of course Pennsylvania, where Cabot is based out of. But yeah, Rob's got a long career, well over 30 years now of building and designing 1911 custom pistols. This one falls kind of right in the middle of it, at that first ACW shop, and was just a handsome gun that I wanted to share with you guys and give you a little background on Rob. As far as I know, his books are open. If you need Colt work or any 1911 work, I wouldn't hesitate to reach out to him. I know he's building Virgin frames and slide pistols too. So He's a pretty good hand with these things, and I appreciate his style and execution on a lot of these guns. Hope you guys enjoyed the gun and enjoyed the video, and thanks for tuning in.